Hello. So, I was binging CJ from CJ Reads videos, and I noticed that she created a tag called the Could Do Better tag, and I thought it was very funny, and I thought it was very creative, especially the titles of the questions I thought were really funny. So yes, no one tagged me to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. All right, so the first question is, say it, don't spray it, cover with the most offensive use of type. So the one that instantly came to mind, which we just got in, and I opened the box and I was like, how dare this font just ruin such a good book? And that is the specific cover. Now, that's not the cover I have of John Boyne's The Heart's Invisible Furies. That font is heinous. I hate any font that looks like you wrote it by hand, or this just looks like you grabbed a paintbrush and you just painted the letters onto the book. It's just does such a disservice, because as we all know, in today's world, the book cover does play a role, whether someone's gonna buy it or not. And I just saw that and I was like, man, this is just a tragedy. I really don't like that. So that's what I have to say for that question. And I probably have others, but that one, I just saw it yesterday and I was just like, this is not cute. Go back to the other editions. The one I have is gorgeous. And I think there's another one too that has a baby or a millennial pink, and it has arrows pointing at or piercing the letters. I also thought that cover was horrible, but I take less issue with that font than I do with this one in particular that I'm thinking of, and horrible. So yes, that's my pick. Okay, the second one is She's Serving Reese Witherspoon's book club. Cover with the most commercial book club energy. Okay, so I have two for this one. The first one I thought about was Isabel Allende's A Long Petal of the Sea. Now, I don't know if it's because of the wave situation. Every time I see that, I'm just like, ooh, okay, this looks like it's either part of the Heather's Pick. If you are a Canadian, you know what I'm talking about. Indigo, that woman, Heather, who picks all these very commercial poppy books. Similar vibe as to Reese Witherspoon. So I can just picture that label on there, Heather's Pick. Yeah, I don't know. This cover just doesn't do it for me. Also, I just did not like that book at all. I felt like she's now writing for a Western audience. I literally feel like she made this book for the Western market, and she's trying to be just inauthentic to her Latin American roots. I don't know. I might just be projecting my own ideas onto this, my own thoughts onto this cover. But yeah, it's just super commercial and just not my vibe at all. And the other one I thought about, which I could totally see being part of Reese Witherspoon's spooky reads for Halloween, is American Gothic. I also did not like that book very much. It did not spook me whatsoever, but it's just got that very commercial looking vibe to it. And yeah, I can also just picture that little sticker of Reese picks blah 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 this book for spooky Halloween month. So yeah, those are the two that I thought of for that category. All right, the next one. Yes, girl, give us nothing. Cover with seemingly no energy put into it. And I hate to say it because I love this book, but it has to be Roxane Gay's Bad Feminist. Girl, Roxane, why? It's just the plainest cover they could have come up with. They literally just plastered on some good old Times New Roman font and called it a day. I think you can even find that shade of pink in the alt, like they didn't even have to blend a new pink for that, you know, like you find that when you click on like the pre-made colors, if you're trying to change the color on a Word document, like you're gonna find that pink. Like I could have made that cover. I know I'm being harsh and like I loved this book, but it just could have been better executed. Like I'm totally cool with like a very minimalistic background, like that's not what I'm trying to say, but this is just like the Times New Roman really just kind of did it for me. Just not a vibe at all. And yeah, like the bare minimum was done for this cover. Like you cannot get simpler than this. But anyway, it's just my opinion. No shade. I still love you, Roxanne. Love your book club, your podcast, and your books. But girl, that was just not the way to go. Anyway, all right. The next one, A Face Only Your Mother Could Love. A cover that is so hideous, but the book is so good, you can't help but keep it around. So my answer for that one would have to be The Dispossessed by Ursula Le Guin. I loved that book. It's a beautiful work of science fiction, and it made me even more upset that the work was just completely ruined by the horrendous cover. I'm gonna put up a picture of the cover that I have, but the worst one that I've seen on several occasions is one published by the Masterworks folks. That cover is like a complete and utter abomination. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't understand how these people managed to completely fuck up, and pardon my French, but so many great works of science fiction. Like the covers of all of, like, I'm gonna put some other pictures because that Masterworks has done, like book covers that Masterworks has done. God, I can't even speak. Anyways, they're all horrible. Like, it's not just The Dispossessed. No one was saved. Like, all of these amazing works of science fiction have now been ruined because of these heinous covers. Like, they're just an atrocity. Granted, obviously the content is not destroyed, but I'm just being dramatic. Anyways, it's just horrible. I hate the colors. I hate what's going on in the foreground, in the background. The color palette is just so off, and everything about this I hate. And it's honestly such a shame because the content is just so unbelievably good that if I were to see this, and I hate to say it, but I would just never have picked it up had it not been for my boyfriend who was like, you're gonna love this, you should read it. But this cover is telling me run away and never look back. That's just how I feel. Anyways, moving on to question 5. Take one thing off before leaving the house. A cover that could use one less element. Now, for this category, I picked a book that I personally have not read, but it is on the way to me. And it is Weather by Jenny O'Fill. And I'm talking about the paperback. The hardcover is stunning. I think they should have just stuck with the hardcover copy and just plastered that on the paperback, because the paperback is just serving me so many things that it's just, sister, like one less thing could have done you wonders. Like, the clouds are cool. The little like drippy effect is also cool. Like, the font I thought was nice, but were the white dots necessary? Like, who made this call? Like, without those little white dots, this would have been like a great cover. Honestly, chef's kiss. But like, those white dots, redundant, overkill, unnecessary. Please remove them. I don't understand why Jenny didn't look at this and was like, okay, yeah, guys, like I like where this is going. Like, this is looking great. But you know what? I feel like the dots are a little too much. Like, let's just take that off and it'll be perfect. It'll be ready for print, like, done. But no, Jenny chose the dots for whatever reason. And honestly, I wish she hadn't, because would have just looked a lot better without them. But what can you do, am I right? At least you can get the hardcover, which that book is gorgeous. So you know what? At least you got one right, you know? Okay, for the last one, Hypebeast, a cover that is clearly going for all the trends at the same time. Now, I don't know if this is going for like all the trends at the same time, but if I had to pick a book cover that just like epitomizes this moment in time in terms of like stylistic and aesthetic choices that people are making, it would have to be Leave the World Behind. That's honestly the first book that came to mind when I read this question. And I don't know if it's because of like the color palette that's very like, what's the word, like cool tone and kind of like modern, and the font is also like really modern and it's kind of mysterious, and you're like, ooh, like this would look really good in my background or, you know, on the shelf. And, you know, without really knowing what it's about, I feel like a lot of people would just like instantly gravitate towards it because it kind of fits into the vibe of what we're currently seeing out there with like new releases, I want to say. But yeah, I don't know if it's doing like all the things, but I feel like for whatever reason, this is just the one that I picked for this category. So yeah, those were all the questions. This is really fun to make. I enjoyed kind of thinking back and really just judging all of the books by their covers and their covers alone. And it's just like a little fun to do a little roast on the internet, but no hate. I love these, all of these books with the exception of one. So anyways, yeah, with that, I will say goodbye. I am gonna see if maybe Rebecca from Rebecca Eats Books wants to give it a whirl and do this. Her videos are really cool and I'm happy. Honestly, I'm just stoked with this booktube community. It's honestly super sweet to be a part of it. So if anyone else wants to do it, go ahead. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you that. Anyone can do this, but yeah, I had a swell time making this video. So I will see you guys on in another video, and I hope you have a great weekend. And yeah, bye.